Hello, my name is Travis, and I'm a 42-year-old pizza delivery boy at Comet Pizza. I know, I'm kinda old for this gig, but hey, you can't beat the tips, and you can't beat the occasional slice from a customer's pizza. Am I right? Besides, my car is kinda trashy, so I don't mind beating on it since I drive a 1996 Dodge Neon 5-speed. So, this is how it all started. One night, I receive an order to deliver a pizza to a house on the outskirts of town. The address was unfamiliar to me, but I didn't think too much of it. I just got into my car, lit up another Camel menthol, pressed play on my Pioneer CD player, put the car in gear, and let go of the clutch. No need for a seatbelt on the job. I glanced down at the order and I was pleased to see it was a large pepperoni pizza and boneless wings, my favorite. The customer never notices when a few wings are missing, so I ate 3 of them, and I also ate a slice of pizza and just reorganized it, like Chuck E. Cheese does, after I ate it so nothing looked like it was missing. No problem. As I drove down the dark, winding road, I noticed that there were no streetlights. The only light came from my headlights, which were quite dim and dirty and needed to be cleaned. You could barely see the road as you drove my car. It was horrible. I began to feel uneasy, but I brushed it off as nerves. When I finally arrived at the house, I noticed that it was very old and decrepit. The paint was peeling and the windows were boarded up. I was like, are you serious? I hesitated for a moment, but I knew I had to deliver this pizza. The house was in a remote area and was surrounded by very dense woods. As I approached the house, I noticed that all the lights were off and there was no sign of life. I rang the doorbell, but there was no answer. I called the customer, but the phone went straight to voicemail. The strange thing was, I could have sworn I heard a cell phone ringing from the woods. I was about to leave when I heard a faint whisper coming from the woods. I couldn't make out what it was saying, but it sounded like a woman's voice. I knew I should have just left, but I decided to investigate, and I walked into the woods. I was only wearing a t-shirt and shorts, as it gets really hot inside the pizza place, but outside it was freezing cold, and freezing rain was coming down, and there was a thick covering of snow on the ground. It was all the way up to my shorts, and I was getting snow in my Air Jordans. I should have known better. As I got closer, the whispering grew louder, and I could hear the sound of footsteps. Suddenly, I saw a figure emerge from the woods. It was a woman, and she was holding a pizza box and a knife. She handed me the box and whispered, "Enjoy your meal." I was too scared to say anything. And then, without warning, she pushed me over, stole the pizza without paying, and ran into the woods. The next thing I knew, I woke up in the pitch black woods, drenched in freezing rain. My immediate concern was getting back to my car and getting the hell out of there. But when I stood up, I couldn't make out any lights or where the house or where the road was. I had ventured only slightly into the woods, but these woods were so dense I couldn't make out where the edge of the woods were and what direction my car was in. At this point, I grew so scared that this psycho woman was still in the woods with me. So, just to be sure she was gone, I tried calling her phone to see if I could hear it ring nearby. Another bad mistake. It rang, and I saw the screen illuminate in the distance. I squinted and could actually see it was illuminating the inside of a yellow tent. Before I could hang up, a male's voice answered and said, "Who the F is this?" I got scared and immediately hung up the phone and crouched down. That's when my phone rang and also illuminated my screen. I stupidly answered it without thinking and said, "Hello?" The voice at the other end was the male's voice again, and he said, "I can see you, and I can hear you, and I'm coming to get you right now, and I'm going to kill you." I immediately hung up, and while I still didn't know what direction my car was in, I knew any direction but their tent was a good direction to run. So I immediately sprinted in the other direction. In mere seconds, I tripped over a stick and ran headfirst into a stump. I then got up without hesitation, like that didn't even just happen, and continued running. I was sure I most likely had a concussion and just hoped that I wouldn't pass out or go unconscious. I ran until my body was so hot that the freezing cold rain felt good on my skin, and then I ran some more and never stopped running. My phone is almost dead, and I'm submitting this story before my phone dies so that no one else makes the same mistake as me. Never, ever deliver a pizza to 209 Tall Pines Drive.